According to a report by 2024, every day about 68 million searches are only porn-related on the internet. This is a shocking truth, but the not-so-shocking truth is the effect on the brain of a drug-addicted person after taking drugs is exactly same when anyone watches porn. You might think that substance addiction like alcohol and drugs like porn and masturbation do not harm you that much. This is why it seems because it does not affect you directly. It plays indirectly with your brain and your body. By the way, people say that sexual activities have many health benefits like reducing stress and blood pressure or improving your heart health. But here, we are talking about healthy sex life, but looking at the internet, we find ourselves stimulating a different thing from real sex, where sex is about intimacy, touch, emotional connection, pheromones, a physical activity for which feel-good hormones like dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin are released naturally. Porn and masturbation gives pleasure at one moment, due to which your brain can get activated in the wrong way. But how does watching porn and masturbating damage your brain? Just like drugs, porn scenes also act like hyper-stimulating triggers for your brain, which secretes high levels of dopamine in our brain. Now every one of us has a dopamine reward system in our brain, and it gets activated when you achieve something in life or struggle to reach something. For example, let me tell you that if I worked very hard, I studied diligently, and if I get 100 out of 100 marks in the exam, then the dopamine reward system of my brain will be activated and I will feel good about it. It gives you a sense of achievement, but by watching porn and masturbating, your dopamine reward system will be completely damaged, and sometimes people's brain becomes unresponsive towards sex and physical intimacy. Today you may not feel anything, but after a point when your partner comes into your life, then there will be difficulty in achieving arousal with a partner in the long run. It is also called in simple word erectile dysfunction. Now I do not need to explain to you what is erectile dysfunction. Watch this full video, you will understand it yourself. Its side effects do not end here. Due to heavy, continuous, and constant release of dopamine, mental health issues like depression and anxiety can also affect your life a lot. There is a prefrontal cortex in our brain, which is also called the personality center of our brain. When it damaged continuously and constantly by dopamine, and the natural cellular activity of it decreases a lot. As a result, your productivity and decision-making also gets hampered, and this is the case which is called brain form. As a result, sometimes while working, you start forgetting things. If someone even by mistake asks you this question, that which restaurant nearby has good food, then you are not able to answer even that thing because your decision-making skills have become very hampered. And those people who watch porn will know very well that the actors in porn have very unrealistic bodies, which can develop negative body image and low self-esteem in you. Now the only job of those people is to earn money by showcasing their body, but by seeing their bodies again and again, sometimes you feel that there is nothing lacking in you, and sometimes by watching porn, you also set wrong expectations which affect your sexual attraction and sexual libido toward your partner. But how this journey that started with a single video turns into an addiction. The more you consume porn, the more your brain's tolerance will increase. And as your brain's tolerance increases, however, you will need more stimulation, due to which you will crave more dopamine. Pick up any addiction in the world. This thing is common in all of them. In the same way you develop addiction to anything. With time, your dopamine peak reaches a different high value for which it becomes even more difficult for you to be sexually satisfied. You'll be left wanting and needing to watch more and more porn and masturbate, and before you know it, you get stuck in this loop. Your whole life starts falling down in front of you, but you are not able to do anything. Let's understand how porn addiction is affecting you in our daily life. Number 1 is the breakdown of neuroplasticity and reward circuitry. As I had already discussed in this video, watching porn repeatedly breaks the reward circuitry of your brain. You don't feel motivated or enthusiastic about anything else in life. Number 2 is desensitization. If you watch porn, you need extreme levels of stimulation to achieve similar levels of dopamine high. Number 3 is emotional and psychological effects. Depression, anxiety, feeling of guilt, feeling of shame. All of these feelings enhance day by day, and your self-confidence and self-esteem fall drastically, and this also affects your social interactions, work performance, and overall well-being. Number 4, violent behavior. What do you do in this addiction? When the regular porn is no longer able to trigger you as much as the stims it gives you, then you move on to the next category, which is violent and extreme porn. And this could be extremely dangerous for you, my friend. Now, you think that if a 12 to 13-year-old boy gets exposed to this category of porns, how much his attitude and preference towards sex will shift, and it would be really hard for him to recover. Whatever things he learns through the mirror mechanism of his brain, he is perceiving it and accepts it as his reality. Now all these things are done where I told you what is porn addiction and how it works. Now we will understand in detail that if you have porn addiction, then how to quit it. Point number 1, humanize the problem. So I'm not going to tell you like some people that talk to the people around you. I have heard it in many podcasters and experts saying this, but I find it very unrealistic that we live in a country where sex and intimacy are very much taboo topics. We are never able to talk openly about all these topics. If you want to completely eradicate the problem, you will have to reach its root, then understand this thing that whenever we come under peer pressure at the age of 12 to 13 or out of curiosity, and we watch porn, then we should completely understand ourselves. There's no need to feel as disgusting as very natural. It becomes due to your hormones and your body changes, and you can never skip this phase, so what you have to do, you do not let this thing dominate your mind. You have to understand this thing that whenever you are watching porn, you are getting lost in a world of imagination. Those things are happening on a screen that is not the reality. I will tell you a simple trick. Whenever you watch a porn, many sensations start happening in your body, and whenever this happens, get out of that phase for a second. Go out and notice your surroundings. You just have to disconnect yourself from the stimuli at the right moment, and whenever you do this, those sensations in your body start reducing. Control of your body comes to you. You have to understand that whatever you are seeing on the screen is just an imagination. There is no reality to it. It is not a need of your body, it is just a game of your mind, it is just a simple stimulation that you get excited. And when you remove that stimulus, you come back to normal state, and when you teach your brain this simple difference, you automatically get the power over your brain from flowing into the state of no control. You automatically take your power in your hand. Number 2, substitute one feel-good behavior with another's. Now don't think that I am telling you to get addicted to something else, you just have to replace it with something positive. If you want, you can go to the gym, work out, go for swimming, or you can do any form of physical activity if you feel like it. It seems that this thing is dominating you, then keep reducing its accessibility. All of these thoughts never come to your mind while doing any physical activity or playing sports, then reduce your free time and replace it with some physical activity. Number 3, don't beat yourself up. Breaking any addiction and recovering from it is a journey, and it is never a straight path from addict to non-addict. In this journey, it is possible that you may slip into your old habits. Do it, that is, you should relax now in such a moment. You don't have to waste time thinking about something with guilt and shame. You need to understand that this is a part of the process. It is not a game of winning and losing, it is just a game of cutting down that habit. Look, you do not have to completely suppress your desires. Sex is a part of life, like money, family, education. Similarly, intimacy is a part of your life which you cannot skip. If you suppress an emotion, it will find its outlet in some other way. Please analyze yourself today and think about it, and all the steps which I have discussed in this video that you must try them. When it comes to sexual pleasure and intimacy, porn will give you more negative effects than positive ones. You are compromising on all these things like relationship, mental health, moral, self-esteem, sexual health. It is time to rethink whether you should watch porn or not. So that's all for today's video. If you like this video information, I will give you such an interesting topic in the next video. So to get more such types of content, subscribe this channel. Always keep inspiring and motivating. If you are totally broken, then watch this one. I am sure the success story of Bear Grylls motivate you. Barry will see how a small decision was transformed his life.